Hi. So I was working at a coffee shop earlier today trying to get a bunch of stuff done, plan a lesson for tomorrow, and it was kind of rough. I had kind of a dicey morning. So I think people don't always understand that mental illness isn't this defined, like neatly organized little thing. And what I mean by that is it's not just that sometimes you're depressed and then for like that week or that month, you deal with the depression and then you break through it, things get better, and then you feel better. And then you're just in this state of like being better because it's really not that like black and white. It's not that like cut and dry. So right now, I wouldn't say that I'm in a depression, but I'm still having issues with my mental health. So there's still this like, it bleeds into each other. And so while I was able to get up and I went to the coffee shop and I like got some stuff done and I'm like out in the world and that kind of thing, I'm still kind of having issues with my mental health, even though it might not visibly look like I am. And I think one of the reasons why I was able to get up though and kind of still like tackle the day and not feel too overwhelmed and like buried by like some of my mental health stuff now is that I was able to take one of my medications that if I'm having a rough day or if I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I'm having feelings of depression and anxiety, irritability, agitation, you name it, I can take one of these medications and it really helps me kind of just like feel more resilient. Like it's a tool that really empowers me to like reclaim a day that would have been lost. But the thing about that medication is it's like pretty expensive. So I'm very lucky that I have access to that medication because it's not something where everybody who needs it has access to it because of the way our mental health care system is, health insurance, our pharmaceutical system, which is like pretty corrupt. And I realized that I wanted to talk about this today because it was something that was like really real happening for me like right now. And that I'm really lucky that I could afford to take that medication. And I have medications, all of my medications are really expensive, but I have really good health insurance through my husband's job, which again, not everybody has. And so I think for me, waking up today and realizing that I can take this medication, it made me feel pretty motivated to vlog so I could say, listen, this is the reality I had today, but I was able to like salvage my day. And yeah, things are hard and it's like a little rough for me right now emotionally, but I had tools and I had resources. And people who live with poverty don't have that. Not only are medications hard to come by, but psychiatrist visits and therapy, doctor visits in general, like transportation. Like I'm sitting in my car and I was able to use that to do errands and do things to take care of my mental health today. So I don't know. I was just thinking about that today and about how we don't understand the role medications play. Sometimes we don't understand what mental illness looks like or how people experience it. I just wanted to bring it up. And it reminded me in college, I went through this phase where I let my health insurance lap. I was on my parents' health insurance and I just was struggling with identity issues. I didn't want to think that I had mental illness. It was back then. And so I kind of just stopped doing what I was supposed to, thinking, oh, well, if I don't take meds, it means that I don't have the mental illness because the meds affirm that I have it, which I know is ridiculous. But yeah, and so I let my health insurance lap and I got symptomatic. I started having like bad episodes and my mania and my hypomania and depression like came on full force. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to make it my business to go to the pharmacy and pick up a prescription. So I went to the pharmacy, I picked up my prescriptions, and I was going out to pay and I assumed that it wouldn't be that much. I knew I didn't have health insurance, but I didn't think it would be that expensive of a medication, and just one of my medications, just one, was $800 for the month. And I was just horrified that a medication that I needed to basically save my life, to keep me stable, to keep my emotions level, to really help balance out my mood disorder, was like $800. Like, who can afford that? And I had to call my parents and tell them that I had let my health insurance lapse and give them kind of the situation. And, you know, the worst outcome of that was that they were disappointed in me, but they were able to help me pay for the medication. And then I got back on their health insurance and things got sorted out for me. And that's the part that like really is frustrating, is that for people in my position, we have access. And for most people struggling with mental illness, because mental illness, yes, it impacts all of us. It doesn't care about your identity, where you grew up, what you look like, your religion, your gender, you know, any of that stuff. If you have other disabilities, it doesn't care. It can have that impact. But when you have resources like I do, you can take medication in the morning. That means that you can have your day back. So you could go to work, you could earn that paycheck. You have jobs where you have health insurance, where you can cover going to your therapist when you're having issues, and even when you're not having issues and you need to just maintain. A big part of mental illness is the balance part and maintenance. So I just wanted to vlog today about that, because I think it's really important. And I think a lot of people don't always think about it in terms of mental illness's impact on people living it in a society that makes treatment and makes like health actually like really hard to obtain. And there are just so many barriers there. So, all right. Great talking to you guys, and I'll catch you later.